do daylight savings time because if you lived here, you wouldn't want an extra hour of sunlight either.
Yeah, I understand that. But you and Hawaii are the only states. You know that, right?
Part of Indiana doesn't do it.
Yeah, but like as
Indiana.
a whole, like.
Well, not even true, because geographically speaking, only about a third of Arizona doesn't do it, because the rest is Navajo Nation, and they do.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the ones that are actually state. See, there's the thing, and the thing is, Navajo Nation isn't actually America. It isn't part of the United States.
It's a semi-sovereign. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a semi-sovereign area, and so the entire point of that is that that's one of those areas where the immigration doesn't work, because they're technically, it would be illegal for them to call themselves Americans.
And it's one of those parts of Arizona, actually, where building the wall is a problem, because a lot of the border is on the Tonaho O'odham Reservation in southern Arizona, and the Tonaho O'odham have routinely told the White House to shove it.
You could build the wall around them.
Yeah, that won't piss them off at all.
Hey, you know what? You want to shove it? All right, here you go. Oh, that would be terrible. But it would be
I think they've actually sued the federal government on a number of occasions because of how much it costs them in emergency services to go and rescue all these migrants.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to say any of that because, yeah.
All right.
By the way, you guys are listening to Behind the Scenes. We're getting ready for the show. Just so I'm saying that now so Matt knows, because it is past 9 o'clock on my time. See here, and we've got about roughly about a minute and a half before we actually get going here. Let me see here. Everything looks like it's running smooth and steady. Got a couple people watching on the other streams. That's nice. It's nice. Let me see here what's going on. Cool.
Yep, just getting all my cross posting in here. Telling people
cross posting
not to miss today's show with guest co-host me, because it's all about me.
I was about to say, is this cross posting? Is that kind of like cross dressing, except for you're standing in one place?
Yeah, except instead of pretending to be a different gender, I'm pretending to be a successful show.
Oh. Ouch. I'm glad you're the one that said that. That hurts. That hurts a little bit.
Yeah, that was cold, wasn't it?
That hurts you so much.
Yeah, that was a sick burn inflicted on myself.
Ouch. The pain on that one. I feel
self-inflicted snark.
I feel it all the way over here. That's hurtful. All right. Hold on. We'll be right back with the show start. Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Defenders of American Exceptionalism. We are live. You can find us pretty much anywhere that you can find the DOAE show. You can find us on all the social medias, whether it be Facebook, YouTube's, Twitter, Instagram, we are there. Just look for hashtag DOAE show, and you will find us. You can also find the video feed right now live on the YouTubes, the Twitters, the Facebooks, /DOAE show on all of those. You can also go to Mojo 50 Radio, whether you're going on the Mojo 50 app. Well, not the app, sorry. The stream that they have. The app is later. Anyway, so the stream that they have, or you go to their Facebook page, Mojo 50 Radio, on the Facebooks there. You can find us, and if you do, please comment anywhere on any of those, and I should be able to comment back to you, or we'll use you in the show, possibly talk to you between the breaks. With me tonight, I have Matthew Holloway. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Yo.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going all right. It's going all right. Coming to you from the western wastelands of Arizona, where we have recently elected or selected, we're not quite sure which yet, Kirsten Sinema for the U.S. Senate, much to our chagrin and everlasting shame.
That is everlasting shame, and you should be ashamed of all of that.
Hashtag not my senator.
Not your senator. Gosh, do you remember that "not my president" thing?
Yeah, that was bad, wasn't it?
I'm not talking about Trump either. I'm talking about Bush. Remember Bush?
Yeah,
not my senator.
Way in the back when.
I was back in a long time ago's.
Oh man, that was when my entire high school class thought they were political activists. It was sad.
Yeah, exactly. Shh, Erica. Shh, don't do it. Bad. Shh, no. Shh, that was me overstepping my bounds. Shh.
Bad, Erica, to the corner with you.
Bad. Not to the corner, just shh.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yes. Gonna be a fun night tonight. Let's see a couple things I wanted to get to. Andrew Gillum has conceded for the second time his governorship in the race, so that's good.
So does this mean he's twice as in love with himself because he's, twice conceded?
That is similar, yes. But what we're talking about here is the actual conceding, as in stepping back, saying that you're no longer doing the race.
Oh, conceded, not conceded. Yeah, got it. All right.
All socialists are at least twice conceded.
Yes.
It's just the thing. No, Erica, no, it wasn't me. It was you. It was definitely you. Just kind of keep it there. Keep it square. All right, other people that have, quote, conceded in the Georgia race. What was that lady's name?
Jeez.
Abrams?
I was trying so hard not to pay attention to this race.
Was it
because
Stacey
it
Abrams?
Seemed like... I think it was Stacey Abrams. Because it seemed like such an unbelievable crap show. I mean...
you do have two pretty terrible people in that race.
It's like you have the horrible candidate and the horrible candidate. Enjoy.
Yes. Multiple horrible candidates. Oh.
Reminded me a little bit of the 2012 presidential election. You had a horrible candidate and a horrible candidate. And
nice.
There you go.
Very nice. No, Watson. Holloway is not a hater. He's just... He's honest. Unlike some people I know.
And I'm on a significant dose of Benadryl because I mowed my lawn today, and Arizona is exacting its vengeance upon me.
You see, in Arizona, they don't have fall or winter. So all they have is a summer, springtime constantly. They have like summertime, and then they have burn your face. So
where you step outside and essentially die.
Yes, that is correct. Stepping outside and dying, yes. If you do not have an air-conditioned bubble around you, you will not live. There shall be no surrender. Speaking of no surrender, did you even know Norway had a navy?
Yes, I did know Norway had a navy, and ironically, they were some of the fiercest fighters in World War II.
Were they really?
They really were. It's like them and the Finns were, the Finnish were just ridiculously brutal in their engagements against the Soviet Union before the war.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Nazis during World War II. I mean, they just killed people by the hundreds of thousands.
So Norway...
The Army's very effective. I can't speak intelligently to how effective the Navy is, especially after reading this article.
Yeah, I was about to say, so the Norwegian Navy is finished.
Ba-dum-bum.
I say that because a Norwegian frigate has pretty much completely sunk. It's almost sunk. The only thing that's out of the water now is the communications tower at the top of the ship. That's the only thing above water. You see, it ran into an oil tanker, and the oil tanker has no problem. No scratches, no dings, no nothing. But it decided to sink. And then what? It sunk halfway. And then after it sunk halfway, it also decided to break and snap its ties and sink the other half. And I think that is the entire fleet. Yes, Dad. I believe that's the entire fleet. I also believe that Matt Holloway's screen froze because his face is in an awkward position, and that's hilarious. Somebody please take a screenshot of that. So, for me, looks like he's gone. Everybody say bye to him. All right, let me see here. So, for me, with everything that's going on with the Norwegian naval frigate, oh my goodness, I can't believe the hilarity that happened with that. Are we back? Are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry,
good.
My Skype crashed.
That's okay. Your Skype crashed. Things happen. Oh, it's only live, Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. You still with me?
Yeah, switching cameras. Hang on.
Uh-oh. All right. So let me see here. Yeah, apparently with a frigate and what had happened, it went through. And after it went through and everything else, it decided to. Wow. They decided to they decided to put some tow lines in on this frigate, to try and keep it afloat. And then the tow lines and anchor lines decided also to just break. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna have anything going on anymore.
Yeah, no, they had a very limited fleet to begin with. I mean, granted, a very small area that they're kind of geographically responsible for. Mm-hmm. But when you only have a couple of frigates,
mm-hmm.
and I do mean a couple, I think it's like 3.
Yeah.
And then you accidentally get one rammed by a civilian vessel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's gonna set you back as far as your operational capacity.
Oh yeah, it'll set you back quite a bit. And by quite a bit, I mean a huge, terrible, horrible amount. See, this one in particular was actually manned by NATO. And that's another issue altogether. That is a complete issue altogether. I don't know exactly why they would do that, but apparently NATO has a frigate in Norway?
Well, you see, what I think it is, Steven, is I think they weren't contributing enough. And as a result, their frigate just sank right into the water.
So what you're saying is this is sabotage?
No, I think it's poor upkeep.
Poor upkeep? Well, that's well, the fact that they rammed into a tanker and then they sank kind of tells me that their radar was off.
The other piece of it that's really fascinating is the tanker was apparently undamaged.
Yeah, completely undamaged. I know
that's like when a big rig rolls over a Mazda. It's just gone.
But Mazdas are made out of paper mache. There's a big difference. This is
and the frigate is now at the bottom of the fjord, so, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. You know what's really funny is that Lori D, one of our jackholes over at the Jackhole Nation for Mojo 50.
By the way, I love the fact that Mojo fans are called jackholes. That's amazing.
Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
It's so good. But so apparently she decided to try and buzz in while I was talking to you over Skype.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So after
maybe there's a good chance that Lori actually kicked me off of Skype.
I think Lori kicked you off of Skype. We're gonna go with that. Lori, you kicked my guest off of Skype.
That's aggressive.
What's wrong with you, Lori?
And I believe she would too. I really do. Lori enjoys being on your show so much, she would aggressively knock me off.
I don't know if she enjoys being on my show. I mean, she has to get drunk to do it.
Really? Well, I'm whacked up on Benadryl and Hall's cough drops, if that's close enough.
Well, I can't say too much then.
Yeah, we got Diana, a friend of mine, listening on DOAE. She's complaining that she has a Mazda. Diana, I know you have a Mazda. That's why I said it.
Oh, see, we're targeting people directly on that one. So there are so many issues with this. So many issues. And what I mean is, multiple issues with having you on and having your Skype drop out on me, and no, I'm just joking. No, what I really mean is, NATO. Why are you controlling Norway's navy? I'm just gonna leave it there, and with that, we're gonna take a quick break. Hold on, we'll be right back. All right, guys. Yay, commercial
that was
breaks.
Rough. That was rough.
Oh, you know what? It's okay. It is okay.
Well, you mentioned before how I have like a multi-computer setup. There's a reason for that. This laptop is as old as my firstborn. It's a 5-year-old Lenovo, and I was running the video streams on Mojo and Defenders at the same time while I was running Skype, and all three crapped out at the same time. I went, oh god! So now I've got my chats open on my desktop over here. So if you're chatting in Defenders or in Mojo, I can see you.
Yes,
so
he can see.
I can see you talking smack about me. That's all.
Watson.
Yeah, Watson, I'm looking at you, man.
Yeah. All right, so Erica, come on. 2 of the last 4 guests that I had on the show were impaired. Yes, technically, but not because I willed it. Not because I willed it. They decided to be impaired before they got on my show. That's their fault.
And Erica, with all due respect, it's not like I haven't done a HoloNet show on Benadryl before. I mean, I have some severe allergy issues.
Oh, man. Yeah, he does have some severe allergy issues, but that's okay. That's all right. We're not going to hold that against him, are we, people? No. It's not good. Not good at all. Oh, Watson. Watson wasn't impaired. That's right. You were one of the 4 that was not impaired. Good job, Watson. Oh, by the way, so speaking of unimpaired guests, coming next Saturday, you guys could see this, the author of The Assault on Freedom in America, his name is Mac Taylor. He's a good friend of that guy, Jonathan Dunn. I say good friend because if you couldn't read it when I put the book up, Jonathan Dunn wrote the foreword for it.
Awesome.
So a really good friend of Jonathan Dunn. This guy also did an interview on Watson Prunier's show last week, and I decided I should get a crack at him. So,
well, if somebody comes along with the Jonathan Dunn seal of approval, that's pretty powerful for Steven or myself because I don't know. I've always considered Jonathan a bit of a mentor. I don't know what your relationship with him was like, but he basically brought me into podcasting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's great, and so I trust his word when he says something about somebody. All right, we got
for sure
10 seconds, and we'll kick back over. And we're back.
Yes, indeed.
As always, you're listening to the Defenders of American Exceptionalism. Tonight with me, I have Matt Holloway from The HoloNet. You can find him at thehollonet.com. Or
yes,
is it just
sir.
HoloNet.com? Is it HoloNet? Or
The HoloNet. TheHoloNet.com.
I had it right the first time. Yes.
Yep.
Right.
Find me anywhere great podcasts are found. iHeartMedia. All that fun stuff. By the way, you can also find my written content now on doaeshow.com.
What?
Yes. Huh? Shameless self-plug there. But yes, I have started contributing my written work there as well. So if you want to see that stuff, doaeshow.com, search for Matt Holloway.
It's there, and we also have a couple new contributors as well. They've been posting up, so you have some competition there on the written word. Be nice to know. All right, so let's talk about Amazon. I like Amazon. Do you like Amazon?
Amazon Prime's pretty cool. I mean, I cut the cord on like Dish and DirecTV such a long time ago. It's ridiculous. So I have pretty much every major streaming service, including CRTV and The Blaze, as a rule. So pretty happy with them for the most part. Not particularly happy with their interactions with the state of New York, but yeah.
Or Washington, D.C.
But, I'm extremely surprised that something vaguely intelligent actually came out of the gaping maw of Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
So am I.
Yeah. It just goes to show you even a busted watch is right twice a day.
Exactly. So, a couple things that I wanted to point out. Multi-billion-dollar incentives, including tax credits that span over 15-year periods, were given and offered to both sides of the new H2 for Amazon. And this was a government-given grant. So what this means is that the government is buying a company to come in to their state. And they're doing it at the expense of every other person and every other company that is in that state.
I really wish this was a new or unique thing, though.
But I know it's not, and I know this whole idea of them shopping around for the best headquarters for their stuff is a whole thing that every major corporation does. But this is what people will point to when they say capitalism is bad, and this is not capitalism.
No, this is definitely crony capitalism. This is cronyism and backroom deals at its very worst. I mean, this is the type of stuff that would make, J.G. Rockefeller blush. I mean, the stuff that in the old days of the robber barons, quote unquote, the left calls them robber barons, the right, we call them entrepreneurs and industrial tycoons, and we credit them with building this nation. They excoriate them for enslaving the populace.
I wouldn't
depends
say,
on your point of view, I guess.
The nation, whatever. They didn't do that. It's not like they built the railroad system, cheaper, faster, better. It's not like.
But this kind of hand in glove stuff, like I said, even back in those days, would give people pause. And even here in Arizona, I've seen this kind of thing before. I mean, you look back historically here in Arizona, the NFL and Cardinal Stadium in the city of Glendale, which somebody had to have been severely impaired, as we've been referencing in today's chats, in order to have signed that deal. You also have Motorola, Intel, other big companies that have come to the valley here that have gotten these sweetheart deals from the state of Arizona, city of Phoenix, cities of Mesa, Tempe, and it's not weird. But what we're seeing from this Amazon deal is just a particular brand of largesse. I mean, where it is just so astronomically huge that it just slaps you in the face.
Yeah, not only do you have multi-billions of dollars in tax credits and incentives and other things and foregoing of taxes over years and years, which means that the state that these are going into aren't actually getting money from this company. They're literally paying this company to come and be in there. And that's the whole deal for them. That's it.
And this is another case where, typically small government folks, we decry when the government picks winners. So this is a definite case of the government picking a winner. I'm taking a look at the Daily Wire story. I'm sure you're going to have links to it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But they're going to receive the direct incentive of $1.525 billion for creating 25,000 jobs, or an average of $61,000 per job created, as the New York Times reports.
Yeah. Not only are they going to do that, but you're also going to get a point in way where because they're setting up so close to D.C., one of the incentives that they get from being so close to D.C. is that they're actually going to be given a heads up. If there's ever a federal investigation or anything like that into the company, into anything that's going on into their business, they're going to get a heads up in advance to let them know, hey, clean this up.
And I mean, it's so much easier to lobby to Congress
when you're sitting
when
right
you're
next
building
to them.
next door, you know?
Right. It's like, oh, you just want me to stop building this and, move out? I mean, I can.
And what will it take to make this go away?
Yes. I mean, for reals. This is such big bad things. We need this go away. Can we make it go away?
In my country, we call this bribe. Bribe.
Maybe bribing. Maybe not. So, and yes, we mentioned earlier that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez actually was half right about the situation, about the fact that she doesn't like them in doing what they're doing, especially in New York. So she's saying that the community response is outrage. That's where she's wrong. Because the
community response is, woo, jobs.
Yeah, the community response is going to be, oh, great, jobs in a company I can pretty much take to the bank. Yay!
Now, I grew up in a very small town called Carteret, New Jersey. Population 27,000, 4.5 square miles, deep in the Rust Belt. This is a blue city, okay? Yeah. And I grew up as a Republican in that town, man. Tough room. But they recently, in last decade here, they opened up an Amazon cross dock. And Amazon has proven to be deeply involved. Like, I don't know, you ever witness like a calf or a foal getting delivered? Like that deep, where we're talking like shoulder deep involved in the local politics.
Yeah. And
I just saw on my hometown's Facebook page, Amazon's going into the schools and actually doing things with the schools, and they're going into the city council and they're doing things with the city council. Mm-hmm. They're making huge community sponsorships. And that's how they get this level of involvement with the government. That's the flip side of the coin. So that's what the community sees. The community sees Amazon being a good civic partner and being a good corporate citizen.
Yep.
As it were. And more often than not, they're willing to look the other way on something like this, which is all the more reason we need to point at it and call it out for what it is: crony capitalism and the government picking winners and losers.
Yeah, exactly. And so here's where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was correct. She said Amazon is $1 billion company. Actually, that's $1 trillion now. The idea that it will receive hundreds of millions of dollars, actually billions, in tax breaks at a time when our subway is crumbling and our community needs more investment, not less, is extremely concerning to the residents here. Once again, take out that last little portion, extremely concerning to the residents, and the government could be spending its money on fixing the problems that it created, but instead they're going to invest it in a company that's going to provide jobs, which, that's all the people will see.
Government's job to invest in infrastructure, not in companies.
Right. If the company wants to go there, it's the government's job to get the taxes out of the way to make them want to go. We will be right back. Commercial break. So, I know it's commercial break, and normally we're just going to be reading some silly stuff, but you have a really good point that I want to bring up. You told me about this earlier, and you're saying that because I was giving you the ideas of what's been going on, the backroom deals and everything else with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and you compared her to Paris Hilton, which didn't make sense until you broke it down. Explain this.
Paris Hilton is an extraordinarily astute and intelligent businesswoman, because over the course of a couple of decades, she spent billions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of hours, convincing the American people that she is an idiot and making millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars in the process, investing it very, very wisely and actually increasing hers and her family's wealth in the process. But in her business deals that are not publicized, she's actually very, very astute, very shrewd. There's actually a write-up on it in HuffPo, of all places, back in 2007, It says Paris Hilton is better at PR and marketing than Howard Rubenstein and Richard Johnson put together. There's also another piece on broadly.vice.com that says...
Howard Rubenstein, who's that?
Exactly.
Thank you.
The nameless people who you don't hear of behind marketing that tell you what to buy.
Right.
And broadly.vice.com said, this is how Paris Hilton fooled the entire United States of America. Through the power of a fake baby voice, Paris Hilton launched a business empire, invented reality TV stardom, and disrupted American culture years before Facebook or the Kardashians.
You see, she turned that kind of like Kim, I guess you'd have to say, kind of like Kim in that way.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, Kim.
But my
Kim
whole comparison to Ocasio-Cortez is, despite just the worst sound bites in recorded history of politics.
And some great memes. Oh, man.
Some fantastic memes. And it's just going to get better the longer she's in office. I mean, This woman is talk radio gold. She has actually proven herself very astute and very shrewd at pulling the levers of power and getting involved with the right movers and shakers in Washington, D.C. It's like three different bells.
It's well-deserved. Well-deserved. All right. We're back. This is Defenders of American Exceptionalism. We are live. We have with me in the studios Matt Holloway. Actually, not in the studios. He's via Skype. I don't actually have a studio, so...
Or Scripe, if you were listening earlier and you caught me stumbling on my words. Well, no, I am not that hammered. I just took Benadryl before I got on.
He's not really that bad off. Not that bad off. Anyway, wow. That could work in so many levels.
Oh God, what was it that Rosie O'Donnell or Roseanne Barr said she took, and that was why she made those tweets?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh God, somebody in the chat answer that. Find that out.
Yeah, somebody else figure that out because I really don't remember.
There was like some sleep medication or something. Oh, she took Ambien. That was it.
Ambien? Okay. Yeah, she took some Ambien and she was Ambien and tweeting. You don't tweet and Ambien at the same time. It's never a good idea.
No, but I can talk and drill at the same time, so there you go.
So here's the thing. Speaking of tweeting and Ambien, Representative Eric Swalwell of California.
Oh, God, I love this one.
Oh, it's so good, right? So back in May, he made a whole litany of tweets and suggestions talking about gun control and, hey, we're not coming to get your guns, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, there's been an update. He is now, as sarcasm, suggested things like, well, if the government just decide, if you don't want us taking your guns, the government could just decide to use a nuke.
Yeah, so the exact quote here, there's an exchange between Joe Biggs and Rep Swalwell, which, God, that's an awesome name.
Joe
Swalwell.
Biggs. Swalwell?
Yeah, it's...
Oh, man.
Make sure you take your enunciation and diction classes before you read a quote from him. Swalwell.
Your what
So
classes?
Joe Biggs tweets, diction.
Just saying.
So Joe Biggs tweets, so basically Rep Swalwell wants a war, because that's what you would get. You're out of your effing mind if you think I'll give up my rights and give the gov all the power. Rep Swalwell replies, and it would be a short war, my friend. The government has nukes, too many of them, but they're legit. Hashtag legit nukes. I'm sure if we talked, we could find common ground to protect our families and communities. So it's the insinuation here that if there was a pro-Second Amendment public uprising, if there was a public insurrection in support of the Constitution, that the federal government would nuke the populace?
Oh, that sounds like a really good idea. And this continues on. So our government would nuke its own country in order to take guns? Wow.
Oh, we need to get the soundbite from Independence Day. Nuke. Let's nuke the bastards.
Exactly. And then this is...
and then they nuked Houston, if I'm not mistaken.
It's it. Here's Eric's response. Don't be so dramatic. You're claiming you need a gun to protect yourself against the government is ludicrous. But you seem like a reasonable person. If an assault weapons ban happens, I'm sure you'll follow the law.
No, not so much, really.
No. Not really.
And that's actually going to lead us into one of our next stories about a law enforcement official who's basically said he's not going to.
Yeah, so here's the thing with that. You see, Second Amendment is under assault in Washington State now. They passed an amendment. 60% of the people voted for an amendment called Initiative 1639, which raises the age limit for some gun purchases. It has safe storage provisions that can lead criminal charges if a gun owner allows someone not authorized to access the gun to use it. If it's displayed incorrectly, that could be a criminal charge. Enhanced background checks and everything else. And that's for anything, including a semi-automatic rifle, which includes a .22.
Which is in, most of flyover country known as a squirrel rifle. And because that's really about all you're taking out with it.
Yeah. I mean, it can hurt you if you're literally standing next to the barrel of the gun. But if you're any real distance away, I mean.
There was a president who actually got an assassination attempt with a .22 and then subsequently gave the speech.
Afterwards.
Before seeking medical attention. I think that was actually Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And he said, I believe he referenced it in the speech, and he said it takes more than that to take down a bull moose.
Oh, gosh. Speaking of bull moose, he was the first progressive, guys, or the first Republican progressive. Remember, they're in both parties. All right, so Lauren Culp, the police chief of a town called Republic.
God, that's appropriate.
That is so nice. Police chief of a town called Republic, which is a small town in the northeastern Washington area, took to Facebook last week to inform his citizens. Wow, his name is Lauren. Anyway, so to inform his citizens that he
could be worse. Could have been Carl.
That's true. That he will not enforce Initiative 1639 in his town, which the voters of Republic overwhelmingly rejected. Good for you. Slow clap.
He quotes, "I've taken 3 public oaths, 1 in the U.S. Army and 2 as a police officer. All of them included upholding and defending the Constitution of the United States of America. The Second Amendment says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. As long as I am chief of police, no Republic police officer will infringe on a citizen's right to keep and bear arms, period," all caps.
Mm-hmm. You see, according to KXLY, 73% of the voters in Republic voted against Initiative 1639. In an interview, Culp said that he believes Initiative 1639 completely flies in the face of both the U.S. and its state constitution. I mean, bravo, sir.
Absolutely. I mean,
bravo.
what you hope doesn't happen is, like, you hope the state AG doesn't come into that town swinging hammer. And if they do, I mean, be ready. We need to start like a GoFundMe for this guy's legal defense.
I mean, here's the thing. Technically, he's in the right.
Technically, yes, but he's also in the territory of the Ninth Circus Court of Appeals. So being in the right,
you
in
mean
the Ninth Circus Court,
the most overturned court of appeals ever in the land?
Yes, but still, when the appeals process can take half a decade sometimes.
Yeah, but not in this day and age. I mean, something like this, you get a police chief of, even if it's a small town, and he's protecting the Constitution and the Second Amendment, this becomes a big case.
But this is why, alternative media resources like us, also people who just pay attention to this in general, the Mojo 50 Jackals, HoloNet operatives, and Defenders, Shield Bearers. Mm-hmm. This is one we definitely need to keep on our radar, collectively speaking.
Definitely have to keep this up in our eyes and make sure that we're up in arms on this one. Not so that we could... not to take arms, but to stand and defend, if you understand what I mean.
To bring attention to it.
Mm-hmm. We have to make sure that people understand and people see what's really going on. And if this guy, who's this police chief, if bad things happen to him because of this stance and because of his public oaths that he's presented, I gotta say that's government overreach. That's that's the government literally coming in and squashing truth. It's squashing what makes America exceptional.
You have to remember Washington State, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
this is right Washington State, so I mean, it's gonna be. He's got an uphill battle ahead of him, and he's got powers and principalities arrayed against him, without doubt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. By the way, that's a great idea, Jules. Go to his Facebook page. It's he posted the original thing on Republic Police WA. So Republic Police WA. Go there, find him, show him some love. Make sure that he knows that he has the support of everyone across the United States, not just the people of the town of Republic. Which, once again, that is a great freaking name, guys. Good job. Whoever came with that, good job. Uh-oh. Matt, what are you doing?
Sorry, typing.
What are you... Oh, I know who you're typing to. You're typing to Erica, aren't you?
Yes, of course I'm typing to Erica.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I did want to just add this to, total unrelated squirrel moment.
Yeah.
There's a city out there, Liberal, Kansas, conservative as hell.
It's called Liberal, Kansas?
Liberal, Kansas, one of the most conservative cities ever.
That is amazing. How does that work?
Republic, Washington, and Liberal, Kansas, both extremely conservative. I love
Wonderful, great things. Sorry, people on Twitters and everything else going off on it.
On the tweets.
On the tweets. Lovely, lovely stuff. I tell you what, that's... Swalwell really did... It really did burn me. The fact that he's... Sorry. The fact that he's pulling out the nuke card just like on a tweet conversation.
And I think Joe Walsh pegged it pretty well. And I don't agree with Joe Walsh on everything because, he's pretty... I don't know. Is he never Trump?
I don't know.
Joe Walsh?
I don't know about anybody. Like, when you're talking about any personality, I don't know.
But he says, Eric, I get that your use of nukes was sarcasm. And yep, Twitter doesn't do nuance. Yeah, social media in general doesn't really do nuance, Joe. But understand how many of us gun-clinging Americans recoil at the word confiscation and will do whatever we have to do to defend our guns against a government that would take them. Thanks. Yeah, because I think the insinuation that the government would actually nuke its own people is pretty laughable. But the insinuation that the government would use military force in order to confiscate firearms, that's not, because it's been done historically over and over and over again around the world.
And here.
So it is a real threat. And here, yes.
I mean, if you don't think, okay, everybody's complaining about it, but if you don't think that America has done some horrible, horrible crap to its populace, just look at all the times where the most progressive presidents have been in stock. We'll be right back after this.
Stick around.
You said stick around, but the S did not come into the sound.
Really?
So all it sounded was, "Dick around."
I wonder how many times I hear that on my show. How often am I telling people, we're going to take a quick break, dick around?
Oh, gosh.
I mean, this is definitely possible.
It is highly possible, but I think what it actually is, it was it's Skype. I think it's Skype. Skype is messing with you. Because what happens with our transmission here is when I talk, if I talk and it's just like and you try to come in a half a second early before I finish, it cuts whatever you're saying off. Yeah, so.
Well, hopefully this isn't the one that Ron's going to listen to, you know what I mean?
Oh, no, Ron listens to, like, none of them. It's okay. He listened to our first couple shows, and he checks in every now and again, like, for 5 minutes, but, yeah.
I was talking to Matt and Ron about, seeing what we can do, and he said he'd listen to a couple, and I'm like, yeah, I just fiendishly name-dropped DOAE show. It's like, yeah, roll with those dudes. They're my bros.
Yeah, those are good guys, right? Yeah. Oh man, it's funny because we're really not that big at all.
Them's me brothers.
Them's your bros. Them's your bros.
Me bros.
Oh, speaking of Dems being bros, if you guys are actually looking for a new job and you're trying to buffer your resume, it's a good idea to get new skills. One of the ways you can do that, go to Skillshare. And if you go to Skillshare and you use the promo code DOAE Show 2 MO, you can get 2 months for free.
Nice.
Yeah. Telling you guys right there.
Because my production skills are pretty sad, so I should probably check that out.
You should check that out. That'd be a really good idea. Why don't you check that out? Get some better production skills.
Or I need to hire a producer, but I'm cheap, so.
Yeah, well, I'm also very expensive.
Ah.
I wish that was true. I wish that was true.
Yeah, really. No, I know we're not really going to hit it on this show, but I've been reviewing it, and I definitely have to do the vote of no confidence thing tomorrow on the HoloNet. So if you guys want to check that out, that'll be on the HoloNet tomorrow. I've got to address...
Talking about Britain?
Yeah, Theresa May. She's in the fight of her life.
Theresa May. Poor Theresa May. That's terrible stuff. That's something we're not going to talk about tonight. If you want to know about Theresa May and everything else that's going on, go check out HoloNet. You'll find out everything there. He'll be on Facebook. He'll do his own video cast. It's facebook.com/HoloNet, or you can go to theholonet.com. He is there. And you can check out his written word over on our site, doaeshow.com. Isn't that nice? It's pretty. It's good times.
It's pretty.
He's pretty. He's so pretty. Oh, yeah, by the way, when you go to DOA Show, please go check out our shop. If you check out our shop, you can do things like get this wonderful mug, or the other wonderful mug that has the same logo as my shirt, or you can get
the eagle,
or you can get my shirt, not my shirt, but the shirt that I'm wearing, not the exact shirt I'm wearing, but a copy of the shirt I'm wearing, which is great. And don't forget, when you do go over to a DOA Show, you go to there and you can become a Defender with us. It's $5 a month or $50 a year. And if you do sign up, you can get this shirt or the hashtag I see what you did there t-shirt for free. It's good times. Anyway, back to the news of the day. Check it out. The Saudi Crown Prince. It has been confirmed. He was the one who ordered the killing of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi. This from the CIA.
If you look at this story online, I mean, they've picked the perfect picture. I want to shake hands with the photo editor at the Blaze that did this, because he looks like he's in the principal's office. He's got his hands are folded. Down. He's looking down. He's he looks like he just got balled out by the president.
You're right. That's actually
he really does.
Oh yeah, that's That's true. It does. So a CIA investigation has finally concluded. And they've concluded that the Saudi crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, ordered the killing of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who was killed in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, Turkey, in early October. The officials, with knowledge of the investigation, told the Washington Post. Man, WAPO's getting some big hits.
Yeah, and Mr. Khashoggi really did demonstrate that you can't go back to Constantinople.
Oh,
as Constantinople is Istanbul.
Istanbul is Constantinople?
Go to Constantinople, not Istanbul.
Ah, well, it's nobody's business but the Turks. Anyway, the CIA made its
Don't
assessment.
tell that to Cenk Uygur.
Oh, gosh. He's got a chink in his armor. All right.
Oh!
The CIA made its assessment with high confidence that the 15 Saudi agents who flew on government aircrafts to Istanbul were acting on Mohammed's orders, despite denials from Saudi Arabia and the Crown Prince that they had involvement at all. Sure. So here's some breakdown of the things. Mohammed's brother, Khalid bin Salman, called Khashoggi and told him to go to the Saudi consulate in Istanbul to get his documents. So the brother called him to tell him that he had to go to the consulate to get his documents for his from his divorce and all that junk, or to marry or whatever he was trying to do. The CIA intercepted the call and believed that he made it on Muhammad's instructions. The CIA believes that Muhammad is involved in even minor affairs in the kingdom. That would be pretty true considering the whole holding up his brothers and taking all of their crap sort of thing. He sounds like he'd be a bit of a micromanager.
Little bit.
Just a little bit.
I mean, when he swept in and kind of consolidated his power, he took control of large swaths of the government, which were typically somewhat semi-autonomous within the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a boss who likes to get into the process.
Right, and by process, he likes to get dirty. Anyway, so Mohammed reportedly told Bolton and the White House advisors, like Jared Kushner, that he felt Khashoggi was a dangerous Islamist who was too sympathetic to the Muslim Brotherhood.
So this is very interesting. This is where the Saudi government is trying to paint this as a hit that we ourselves
would be okay with.
Might have taken. Yeah.
Except for we wouldn't have taken it because this is an attack on their own citizen, which in effect would have been, if it was us doing it, it would have been like,
well, hell, we've done that.
Shh. Shh. That's only during war. Shush.
Or if you're in Yemen and happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, man.
Thank you, President Obama. Don't drone me, bro.
Don't drone me, bro.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch. This is something that we shouldn't do, and this is something that should not be enforced by American standards.
No, absolutely not.
See, the Trump administration sanctioned 17 of their people, 15 of which directly involved in the killing, in the Saudi consul general in Turkey, and a senior advisor to the Crown Prince. The Saudi government agreed with the U.S. about the 17 people involved, despite the disagreement about the Crown Prince's knowledge or involvement. So what they're saying is the Saudi government was like, yeah, obviously these 17 people were involved, but not the prince. And
I want to give just a perfect visual illustration of what all that meant.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
bad Saudis. Don't do it again.
Bad Saudis, don't do it. That's all it was, and that's all that will ever come of it. Sorry. So, what does that mean? It means that we're still dealing with Turkey and Saudi Arabia, I guess.
And we're just going to continue business as usual as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah. That's great.
Because neither, the Saudi prince nor the president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who is actually a legitimate Islamist.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of those are dangerous to get caught in between.
Oh, no.
Two nations and two power bases that both have a vested interest in themselves being the unofficial de facto caliphate. Yeah, there's no reason we should avoid getting caught between them at all.
No. Actually, we should just pull out and completely get out of the way. Anyway, so I wanted to end on a different story than the Saudis, mainly because, that's really sad. So I decided on #BelieveAllWomen. And here's what I mean.
Oh, I love this story.
This is so good. Here's the headline. A selfie saved a Texas man who was accused of a violent crime. Here's how he did it. So, a man in Texas was basically arrested and put into jail, locked up, the entire deal. He had no clue of what was going on or why. But, he was like, I'm innocent, but he followed directions and he didn't fight. Well, with the entire deal of what it was going, with all the crimes that they were going to charge him with, it was up to 99 years in prison that he would have been pushed through. Comes to find out, a former girlfriend from high school told police that he broke into her house on a very specific day and used a box cutter to slice an X into her chest. She then told that they dated like 3 years earlier, and that he said that he dated her 3 years earlier, but he hadn't recalled actually ever contacting her since. So, how did the selfie come into play? Funny you should ask. You see, his mom and he were going on a little trip. You see, she knew that he hadn't done the crime because on that day, they were about 65 miles away from the accuser's home in a different place in Austin. Not where she was, but in Austin here. And she went through and found out, because they were posted on Facebook and everything else, found pictures that were time-stamped and location-stamped of her and her son throughout the entire day that they posted on Facebook. Selfies and things of them going through the trip and the adventure. So, luckily for him, Mama kept a selfie.
And this is an interesting case where instead of a selfie getting somebody killed, a selfie actually wound up saving someone.
Saved their life. So, thanks, government spy tool, for saving my life. Hey, Wiretap. Thanks for saving my life today.
The NSA should be proud.
I know. They should. Anyway, this has been the Defenders of American Exceptionalism with Matt Holloway on the side there. You guys have a great night. We will see you again next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.